5-year plans. So after the recommendation or the suggestion from the planning commission, government moved ahead with the 5-year plans. So government decided to meet the achievement during those 5 years. So in every 5-year plan, a kind of objective has been taken, the different programs or schemes has been introduced to fulfill that achievement. So let's discuss about the first 5-year plan. The first 5-year plan was started in 1915 and it was till 1956. What are the changes brought by the government in the first 5-year plan, or what are the aim to achieve? The expenditure in this plan was primarily on agriculture. The expenditure, what is the expenditure? The planning of expenses, how to expend and how much to expend on which thing. These are called the expenditure. So the expenditure in this plan, the first 5-year plan, was primarily on the agriculture. So government had decided to make our country self-sufficient in the in respects with the food grain. So they gave more priority to the agriculture sector. Even the social development, irrigation facilities, and the flood control, sources of energy, rural and small industries, heavy industries and minerals, transport and communication, education and health. This plan consisted of measures to lay foundation of planned economic development. So this plan, the first 5-year plan, laid the foundation. Laid the foundation means beginning. So we started on the path of the economic development and we created a new scenario for our modern India. Second 5-year plan. When we talk about the second 5-year plan, from 1956 to 1961. This plan has ambitious goal of industrialization. What is ambitious? Ambitious means desirable. Our dream project, what we call. So it was an ambition to achieve the goal of industrialization. And on the basis of same, many heavy industries has been set up in different parts of the country, like iron and steel industry at Durgapur, Bhilai and Rourkela, chemical fertilizer plant at Sindri, rail engine factory at Chittaranjan, factory of railway bogies at Perumbur. Railway bogies means railway compartment. Shipbuilding factory at Vishakhapatnam, and other heavy industries were set up in the public sector. Public sector means governmental sector. So under the guidance of government, these heavy industries have been set up to achieve the goal of economic development with the help of the industries. Huge dams like Bhakra Nangal, Damodar, etc. were built to make water available for agriculture. It led to increase in the national income. In this way, our government tried to increase the national income. Okay? Next, third 5-year plan from 1961 to 1966. In third 5-year plan, government decided to bring balance in agriculture and industries, because already the government had the experience of 10 years, because already 2 5-year plans had been happened. So government are very much dedicated about the work. This plan was aimed at bringing about the balance in industries and agriculture. The other goals of the plan included increase in national income, heavy industries, development in transport and mineral industry, alleviation of poverty, and to expand the opportunities for employment. Alleviation of poverty. What is alleviation? Removal of poverty. And even the government also look after the opportunities for the employment. Employment means job. So these are the basic issues which we faced after the independence in our country. So government tries to overcome such issues by the planning or by making new schemes or any project. So we had seen till now the 3 5-year plans are completed. The first 5-year plan from 1951 to 1956, then second 5-year plan from 1956 to 1961, and the third 5-year plan from 1961 to 1966. But after the third 5-year plan, government decided to bring a change in their planning or in the concept of the 5-year plan. So after the 3 successful 5-year plan, government decided to run the 1-year plan. Understood? Don't get confused. So we had seen first 5-year plan of 5 year, second 5-year plan of 5 year, third 5-year plan of 5 year. So after the planning of 15 year, then government decided to bring the plans for 1 year. So this period between 1966 to 1969, government ran 3 1 year plan. Understood? From 1966 to 1967, then from 1967 to 1968, and from 1968 to 1969. So in this 3 year, government ran 1 year plan, 3 1 year plan. Understood? But due to certain situation, these 3 1 year plan was not as much as successful due to certain conditions like the war between the India and the Pakistan, due to the Bangladesh issue, and even the international markets issue. And at that time we faced famine or drought in our country. So somehow these 1 year plans won't be executed properly, or it won't resulted properly. Okay. So after the third 5 year plan, 3 1 year plans were implemented. Implemented means followed from 1966 to 1969. This was a period of intense famine. What an intense, huge, right? A critical famine situation. In a famine situation, famine means scarcity of food due to the irregular agriculture or the farming. Maybe because of the rain, the crops get failed. So we face a situation of famine. Due to the invasion by China, due to the attack by China and war with Pakistan, the government had to focus on defense rather than the development. So government moved their attention toward the development of the, towards the protection of our country rather than giving more importance to the development. Because at that time, protection is the necessity or the demand of the situation, right? Also the famine required the government to undertake measures to tackle the effects of famine. Tackle means to handle the situation. All these issues stress the Indian economy greatly. Stress means give more pressure on Indian economy. So in this way, the development path has been slowed down between this 3 year. So after 1969, government again started the 5 year plans. So already government completed the 3 5 year plans. So now they move towards the fourth 5 year plan. And fourth 5 year plan was started in year 1969 to 1974. So what are the changes? What are the developments or the objectives had been measured in the fourth 5 year plan? The intentions. What are intentions? Decisions or the thoughts, belief. The intentions behind setting the goal of this plan were that India should become self-reliant. What is self-reliant? Self-sufficient. Right? Government should develop the basic industries, increase the speed of economic development, and pay attention to establishing a socialistic pattern of society. 14 major banks in the country were nationalized. During that period, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi nationalized 14 banks. As we all know, previously the banks were run by the private individual, so the income or the profit goes in the pocket of those people. So government won't able to get any kind of income from the bank, so government decided to nationalize the bank. Okay, we will discuss it in more detail in further topic. We have a separate topic for the nationalization of bank. This plan did not succeed as expected. This plan also not succeeded as government expected. The economy had to bear the burden of the Bangladesh war, and also our economy got affected due to the Bangladesh war. So it was a huge burden on the government. The expenditure over the refugees has to be borne as well. Even the expenditure, the expenses that happened on the refugees also needs to be taken care. What are refugees? Refugees are those people who left their land for any kind of issue if they are facing there. Maybe any religious issue, or maybe any violence, or sometimes the war situation. So the person who forcefully leave their land, they are called as the refugees. And it is a responsibility or for the humanity, the nearby countries or the neighboring countries give shelter to those people. So they are called as the refugees. Okay. So at that time, many people from Bangladesh moved to India for their better life or to save their life from that situation. We need to take the care of those people. The expenditure over the refugees has to be borne as well. The Indian economy suffered due to the pay raise of government and railway servants and the rise in the price of petrol in the international market. Even at that time, government need to raise the salary or the payments of the government employees in different sectors or in the railway sector. And even at that time, the oil prices also increase in international market. So these all impacted lot to our Indian economy, and the effect we can see, we had slowed down as we had started our journey. Okay, so let's begin with the fifth 5-year plan. Fifth 5-year plan was started in 1974 to 1979, but again the fifth 5-year plan was not completely executed. Why so? We will discuss it. Remember, during the tenure of Indira Gandhi, there was emergency, right, between 1975 to 1977. And after the emergency, when election happens in 1977, due to the backdrop of emergency, Congress party lost the election. Remember, we discussed it in the second chapter. सेकेंड चैप्टर में पढ़ा हमने इसके बारे में. सो इन 1977 में पहली बार कांग्रेस को इलेक्शन हारना पड़ा था. एंड आफ्टर दैट अ न्यू पार्टी केम इन गवर्नमेंट, जनता पार्टी. एंड सिंस द न्यू गवर्नमेंट केम, so they had run their own plan. So this 5-year plans had been stopped in 1978, and the newly formed Janata Party, they started their own plan named Rolling Plan. Okay, then again after 2 years a general election happened in 1980. We know the story. Again Congress Party came into power. Indira Gandhi again became the Prime Minister of India for the second time, and when she became the Prime Minister in 1980, she continued the 5-year plans. So there has been a bit gap in the 5-year plans. Okay, so let's first discuss about the fifth 5-year plan, that is from 1969 to 1974. Remember these years, huh? It will help us in the blank or in the you can say the chart or in the question and answers also. This plan was designed with the goal of making India economically self-sufficient by alleviating poverty. What alleviating? Removing poverty. So this plan was designed in such a way that government should give more focus on the development of our nation, and our country should become self-sufficient in the field of economy. Self-sufficient means self-dependent. The objectives of the fifth plan were as follows. What are the objectives? Increase the national income. Yes, it's very much important. If the nation's income will increase, then it will directly increase, or it directly gives us the benefit, the people of the country. Make large scale employment available. Government tries to bring more jobs in our country on a huge scale, on a large scale. Supply education, nutritious food. Supply education means education should be available to the every section of the society, every part of the society. Nutritious food and drinking water to make facilities of medical treatment. Every individual, whether it's living in the urban areas or in the rural areas or in the villages or in the remote areas, they should get a proper drinking water facility, education, health. These are the basic things that need required. We say it's all the standard of living. So this is a basic standard of living that every individual should get. To supply electricity and means of communication. Implement social welfare schemes on a wide scale. Bring about the development of agriculture. Increase the basic industries. Purchase food grains and other life sustaining goods by monopoly purchase and make them available to the poor at reasonable price through a public distribution system. So government also runs some kind of projects or the scheme where they had put down the monopoly of distribution, thus essential goods to the consumer or the citizen. What is monopoly? Monopoly means single control or handled by a particular individual. So they tried to regulate or to give support to the people who belongs to the various classes in like the public distribution system. Like we have ration shops. You see in ration shop, depending upon the criteria, the grains are giving at a very cheap rate, hardly 2 rupees 3 rupees kg. Even certain criteria has been set, those people are getting free of cost. Even the senior citizens are getting certain quantity of grains every month freely. So in this way, government tries to bring a certain kind of distribution, a public distribution system, so that they can meet the requirement of the people. In many parts of the country, government also distribute the milk. They also had a tie-up with the different dairies, that with the help of those, a cooperative sector had been run, and government also supplies milk at a cheap rate. So in this way, government trying to give a basic facilities to the people, maybe the education, maybe the health, even trying to create the job opportunities. So these were the main aim that we had seen during the time of fifth 5-year plan. During the fifth plan, it was not possible to achieve the goals of removal of poverty and increase in employment. So in the fifth 5-year plan, it was not quite easy to improve the opportunity for the job, or you can say the poverty removal was not done in a proper way, because even at that time the government was not stable. In 1977 general election, the Congress party was defeated. The Janata Party came to power. The new government ended the fifth plan towards the end of the March 1978 and started the rolling plan from April 1978. But it failed, because we had seen during the tenure of this 2 year, Janata Party also won't able to run the government properly. Right? That's why people again chose the Congress government in 1980s election. We know the story. We already discussed in the second chapter. Okay, remember who was the Prime Minister at that time when Janata Party came in power? Remember? Morarji Desai. Right? So they introduced, Janata Party, they stopped the 5-year plan and they introduced new plan named rolling plan. But it was not that much successful, because even that government was not stable. In 1980, general elections were held for Lok Sabha. The Congress Party came to power. The Congress government closed the system of rolling plan and again started planning like before. So when Congress came in power, so they stopped the rolling plan and they continued with the 5-year plan. Understood? Till 1977, in our country we have Congress government and they run the 5-year plans. But after 1977, when Janata Party came, they stopped the 5-year plans and they continued with their own plan naming rolling plan. But after the re-elections happened in 1980, when Congress again came in power, they stopped the rolling plans and they continued with their own 5-year plans. So from 1980, sixth 5-year plan has been started. Okay? Let's take a look in the sixth 5-year plan. From 1980 to 1985. This plan also stressed means giving more importance. Upon alleviation. What is alleviation? Removal of poverty, right? This plan also stressed upon alleviation of poverty and employment generation. This plan focused more on the employment generation and the removal of poverty. This plan had the following objectives, like significantly increase the growth rate in economy. Significantly means step by step. So plan has been made that we should increase the national income, the rate of national income, reduce the rate of poverty and unemployment, and we need to reduce the rate of poverty and unemployment, right? We need to surpass it, we need to overcome it. Reduce the rate of poverty and unemployment, shape and implement a population policy so that people adopted the small family norms voluntarily, and government trying to plan such scenario that people should voluntarily adopted the condition of small family norms. What are norms? Conditions. What are voluntarily? Voluntarily means by our own wish. लोगों को खुद से लगना चाहिए कि हमारी जो फैमिली है वो छोटी फैमिली होनी चाहिए. So for that government also runs so many awareness program we had seen different kinds of advertisements or different kinds of banners, or even sometimes we see many hoardings, or even at the railway hospitals or the railway stations, there are certain kinds of advertisement that supports that there should be a small family system. Like आपने देखा होगा पहले कैसा होता था, ऐसा लोगोज बने होते थे, हम दो हमारे दो. व्हाट डज इट मीन कि एक फैमिली में नॉर्मल 2 किड या 2 बच्चे होने चाहिए. उसके बाद आपने देखा फिर गवर्नमेंट ने गर्ल चाइल्ड को सपोर्ट करने के लिए मिशन चलाया, तो उस मिशन में बहुत ज़्यादा गवर्नमेंट को सक्सेस मिला. उसके बाद अगर आप देखोगे अभी जो भी गवर्नमेंट के अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं, देयर दे ओनली शो अ सिंगल चाइल्ड, मे बी अ गर्ल और बॉय, डजेंट मैटर, एवरी फैमिली शुड प्लान ओनली फॉर अ सिंगल चाइल्ड. So in this way, government tries the plans so that people should voluntarily think of it, right? And thus keep the population under the control. And in this way, we all need to keep the population under control. The following programs, we know the government runs so many programs or schemes. So during the 6th 5-year plan, new programs has been introduced. The following programs were implemented in the 6th 5-year plan. The first, IRDP. What is IRDP? Remember these short names, huh? Many times in questions we got, give the full form of IRDP, give the full form of SARC, give the full form of NATO. Remember SARC, NATO, we had learned in PS, political science. So in this way, remember these shortcuts, short forms. What is IRDP? Integrated Rural Development Program. So these are the different programs or the schemes of the government. Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program, RLEGP. National Rural Employment Program, NREP. So these are the different programs that government run so that we need to fulfill our requirements or the demands of the people. Salem Steel Plant. You know, Salem is a place. So maybe at Salem the government has started the steel plant. 7th 5-year plan. That is from 1985 to 1990. This plan let stress on food. Let stress on, give more importance or more pressure on food, employment and productivity. The objectives of the plan included development, modernization, self-reliance, social justice, improving the techniques of production to achieve an yearly income in national income of 5% and increase food grain production. So even government had tried to increase the national income by 5% so that we will meet our requirements and our country will be in a better position. So these were the aims that had been followed in the 7th 5-year plan. And many programs are also introduced during the 7th 5-year programs. 7th 5-year plan. The following programs were started in this plan. What are the programs? Those names are in Hindi. We can convert and we can understood what exactly was the program meant for. Like Jawahar Rojgar Yojana. What does the Yojana means? Scheme or the plan or the program started by government. So that in Hindi it is called Yojana. Jawahar Rojgar Yojana. Jawahar on the name of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our Prime Minister. Rozgar means employment. So maybe this program or this scheme helps the people to get better job or the job opportunities. Understood? Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. Next, India Awas Yojana. Actually, it's a spelling mistake. It is not India. It's Indira. Understood? Just correct it. It's written as India Awas Yojana. But exactly it is Indira Awas Yojana. Indira on the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So just put a R between I and A. So what is Indira Awas Yojana? As we know, Yojana means scheme. Awas means housing development. So maybe government has planned for the better living or better houses for the people. So they had started this scheme. Indira Awas Yojana. Scheme of 10 lakh wells. Maybe government had decided to dig the 10 lakh wells in different areas or in different villages. So that was a scheme. Scheme of 10 lakh villages. 10 lakh wells. The 7th plan proved to be important from the point of view of employment generation. So in this way, however, we succeeded in our aim of employment generation during the 7th 5-year plan. Understood? Clear? First 5 year plan, second 5 year plan, third 5 year plan. Then after third 5 year plan, we have 3 1 year plan. Then we have fourth 5 year plan, then fifth 5 year plan. But fifth 5 year was not completely executed due to the changes in the government. Then after we have sixth 5 year plan, then seventh 5 year plan. So we have a seventh 5 year plan from 1980 to 1995. Then again the eighth 5 year plan. The eighth 5 year plan from 1992 to 1997. Again there is a gap of 2 years. Right? Check. Seventh 5 year plan is from 1980 to 1985. And eighth 5 year plan had a gap of 2 years. कहाँ गया 2 साल? Again remember during the time of Rajiv Gandhi when he was Prime Minister, also there was a change in government. Remember Chandrasekhar Azad, VP Singh, right? So these all things brought a change in the plans or the execution of the plan. Eighth 5 year plan from 1992 to 1997. This plan gave a lot of scope to the private sector. As we all know, after the 1990, there are so much changes happened all over the world, not only in India, because the Cold War has been stopped and that affected the economy all over the world. And also we had seen the rise of globalization. So at that time, India also got a great opportunity. And at that time, our government supported more to the private sector. Okay. The plan had been following features to maintain the rate of growth in national income at 6.5%, to control the growth of population, to encourage the program of family planning, to remove illiteracy by expansion of primary education. So these were the basic steps that had been taken by the government to fulfill the needs or the demands of the people or the requirements of the country. And many schemes are also introduced during the 8th 5 year plan, like Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, we know Rozgar means employment, Yojana means scheme. Mahila Samriddhi Yojana. Samriddhi means welfare, development. So when Mahila means maybe that related to the women. Rashtriya Samajik Arthik Sahaya. A Sahaya means support. Arthik means finance. So government plan to support by financial way to the people. These are different schemes. Today, nowadays also we can see so many different schemes run by the government. Right? Even for the cleanliness, we have Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And so many things. Now also we are getting some kind of subsidy on the cooking gas, or even we get some kind of subsidy on the home. There are many schemes government, but even on the education we get a scholarship with the help of government. There are so many schemes running by the government. Midday meal scheme. We know there is a midday meal scheme in government schools. Indira Mahila scheme, Ganga Kalyan scheme. So these are the different schemes run by the government to support the Indian economy or the people. During the 8th plan, the importance of the private sector grew. This plan is a reflection of the liberalization and free market policy adopted in 1991. As we all know, so many restrictions were removed after 1991 that gave a boost to the globalizations, and that supported much to the private sector in our own country. Right? And information technology supported well at that time, and they gave a boost in the industries and trade and commerce. Right? That's why it is written here now. This plan is a reflection of the liberalization and free market policy adopted in 1961. Okay? What a liberation means? Free from rule or certain kind getting overcome the restrictions. Next, 9th 5 year plan from 1977 to 2002. What are the achievements done in 9th 5 year plan? This plan focused on agriculture and rural development. The objective of this plan were to increase the rate of growth of the economy, create healthy competition in the infrastructure sector, give a new direction to industrial policy for ensuring foreign investment. So these are the steps that has been decided to fulfill during the 9th 5 year plan. Like the important things are to create a healthy competition in the infrastructure sector. What is infrastructure? Infrastructure means huge construction like dams, bridges, railway station, airports, huge buildings. So these are the fruitful development, and even to increase the rate of growth of economy. That is very much important, right? The following schemes were started during this plan. In this plan also there are so many schemes and started, like Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana. Swarna Jayanti means you can say golden jubilee celebration. Like at that time we completed 50 years of independence. We got independence 1947. In 1997 we had completed 50 years. So maybe government had introduced some kind of new scheme for the welfare of the people. The following schemes were started during this plan: Swarna Jayanti Shahri Rozgar Yojana, Bhagyashri Child Welfare Policy, Raj Rajeshwari Mahila Kalyan Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swaraj Swarojgar Yojana, Jawahar Gram Samruddhi Yojana, Antyodaya Anna Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So these are different plans that have been executed in the 9th 5-year plan. So in this topic we will learn about only till the 9th 5-year plan, because we know we had a restriction of the study because we study in this syllabus from 1960 to 2000. Remember we had discussed कि 9th में हम लोग सिर्फ 40 इयर्स के डेवलपमेंट और चेंजेस के बारे में पढ़ेंगे जो इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद हुए हैं. तो हमारा जो स्टडी का एक लिमिटेशन है वो ईयर 2000 तक है, तो इसलिए हम लोग सिर्फ 9th 5-year प्लान तक ही डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. वी आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द 10th 5-year प्लान. अंडरस्टूड? वी आर डिस्कसिंग टिल 2000. So in this plan, the progress of communication system and service sector was achieved as per the expectations, right? So as per the expectation, we have achieved lot progress during this plan. There was a growth in the fields of construction and communication, and there was a huge growth in the field of construction and communication during this plan. Understood? The 5-year plans. What are the objectives? What are the success or the failures? What are the changes in the government policies about the 5-year plans? Understood, everyone? So we had discussed about the 9 5-year plan, and we have a different schemes or the programs that run by the government in this 5-year plans. Okay, on the basis of that we will write our answers.